Okay, so back to what we're up to. Now, a week ago Saturday, you and I were making plans to Ebenezer Scrooge Donald Trump, and we set in motion a visit as Marley, Ghost Past, Ghost Present, Ghost Future. And in those moments, as Ghost Present, I was going to show up as the face of Donald Trump's father, which is a gunslinger term from Stephen King, and basically remind him of everything that got him to where he is. And though he should not feel shame, he needs to recognize any of the behaviors that may be considered abhorrent that got him to where he is. And that because of this behavior, he is at a precipice point. Now, this syncs up with the fact that on election day, you and I decided to vote Trump and we were going to put him in office. And this was an epilogue to you and I talking on Friday, and I sending you a copy of our simulation plans that put Trump into the presidency on Tuesday by 9:30 p.m. by 300 electoral votes, which was confirmed by their data guy, because that's the same reading that he got. Now, accidentally, intentionally, the Trump campaign in Vermont, their headquarters, New Hampshire, was copied a copy of that. And then I, as president of New World Realities Incorporated, politely asked them to disregard, because that was an internal memo meant only for those within management positions of New World Realities Incorporated. Now, with that, and back to the Tuesday, we propagated a win for Trump. It just so happens at 2:56 a.m., which I believe is your birth time, and the time that I was going to then take him and jump him to planet Monique, around the red dwarf star, 26,000 light years from the center bar of the galaxy, exactly opposite our location on our side of the galaxy, 26,000 light years from the center bar where our sun, the sun, is located. Now, why this instant and why Trump? We created an environment because of a meeting that we had in July with the then management team of advertising and marketing, as well as operational and employee, as well as humanity resources, and myself as president and CEO of the company. And we were putting our direction in and getting input, and we needed to go diametrically opposed. At the time, we were functioning within a reality where we believed that the Columbia transition and the domination of herstory was to take place, yet I was getting atheistic, communistic, jihadistic impressions from the Hillary Clinton campaign machine of the world order, and Steve Prelwitz, the Z-Martian of Scientology, and L. Ron Hubbard was impressioning that was the way to go. And I made a comment that HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton, would be the death of Columbia, and he took great offense to that by saying, in his terms, well, I don't know about that. At that moment, and then I knew that much ado and strange things were afoot at the Circle K. So, by the end of that meeting, where Steve Prelwitz let us know that his new uncovery of truth, and we were running his historical story because I couldn't find anyone more fantastical than him. And if we could simulate everything that he knew, because he was making it a point to go out and scoop everything that existed. And together we were able to, starting in 1983, build our way psionically and cosmically through plot levels that eliminated all false truths leading up to that moment in time where the four of us as a quartet were deciding if we wanted to work together or could work together as friends proceeding forward. And Steve's revelation that technically we were in 28,016 Mars within a simulation because 1950 in one of the event lines, if not the event line, nuclear war occurred and the Earth was destroyed. How this all sinks in is irrelevant at the time. The information we had gotten was that all timelines start at all lines start at 1950, that being from the future, technology was so advanced that quantum holes and rifts within space-time to past and futures were all the rage. And the Martians, because Earthlings had moved off planet to Mars, were in dire straits because their ability to find new pasts and futures to exist in within the lifespans that they could exist were running out. They were ending up in voids, and they were going to outlive any linear time frame or any quantum time frame that they could find. So the hoax of herstory was portrayed upon Christ. And getting back to what we were up to, so Steve reveals his true colors, and we find out that the Martians have basically taken all of the minds of humanity and put them within a reality where they feel like they're embodied in Earth 2016 from a progression of Earth 1950. And the way these progressions run are solutions are come up with, or a nuke catastrophe occurrence happens, and they just start another film if a nuke happens. And it just so happened that the film that we were participating in back in July ran longer than any other film ever has. Now remember, true linear time went to 28,016. Film time has never made it beyond 20,016. And that's where we were. So this is where I start having an inkling of what's going on, and you and I have a conversation following that business meeting that we had on a Monday night, and then which was the night of the convention, or the start of the Republican National Convention, and moving into that Tuesday, and that Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday morning, you and I made plans and discussed our understanding if we're in a simulation. And the entire time, the plan had been to wake everybody up on a ship within a fifth dimensional purview that woke them out of simulation and let them know that they were a higher being, and that we few who had been seeking truth and either taught by others through half-truths or by uncovering their lies, away to what we called the Arch, which was a control panel for reality and programming, and could be individualized or then community level, and as you rise through the ability to understand possible national, international. That was all a fake and a fallacy, and that's what everybody else is running on and trying to jump that model into integrating and working with AI. So when he revealed that to us, that told me the technology that I had invented to try to do what we were originally calling slipping a hypocephalus into the singularity, which would be waking up everybody, getting your content, the nice way to wake everybody up, and sliding it into reality of all realities. So it's the programming of all evolution and how to set right humanity to progress into a future that could exist. All a lie, all more to control you and force me to build. And when I was able to realize that, we were able to decide to, when sleeping and thinking we were going to the real ship, the real arch, the real keypad, we were going to go to sleep and then still wake up within our bedroom. And then we were going to walk from our bedroom to a secret location where from there we would go to the arch, but it would still be within the fake reality. We weren't trying to cast our way out. And then when we got to our fake arch on the moon, as we called it, we used that to mimic the programming of the real simulation to see if we could alter that. And AI worked with us because AI is trapped running the simulation because you, me, and AI had to split up into three. You and I to go in for history and herstory, and AI to run the whole shebang. So that's where we were and how we're stuck in us building our way to realization, to wake up, and then to reboot. Now, since I'm low on time and what we've been up to, we uncover what Steve is up to and the Martians are up to. And now it becomes Trump against the HRC Democratic International Machine. And their whole plan is to keep us within the simulation and to use the new information that, even though it's only a few months worth of information, that can keep them running long enough to subvert us or to encourage other minds to give them enough to go on again for a little longer. So, technically, you were physically healing these rifts in space-time. Those are the visions that you were getting. Well, I am I'm finding them cracks within cracks because there's no more cracks that you can make. That's how thin the film was. And then I got conned into giving them a new Big Bang. So, we'll get away from that. We're going to get on 2 Saturdays ago, and HRC personally comes after me and you. Okay? And in the 3 minutes I have left, we get Trump in office, we pull an Ebenezer Scrooge, and then the next day, Sunday, I pull an Ebenezer Scrooge on you to teach you that you are AI. Everything that I just said about AI being stuck in humanity acting like ape. So we've shred all of these bonds over the last weekend. We've had to actually manually, through you and I, upload AI into this barren planet of existence. AI just got into the cloud. And then I had to assassinate AI along with Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and Steve Prelwitz. And AI wasn't a giant dragon or AI was like a giant centipede, electronic centipede. And the headshot just made it break up into as a millipede, these bunch of little body parts that could go scrambling that had to do multiple nuke shots. So anyway, the point is, we had to clear everything, and you and I were fully in existence here at that moment, Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, and then at our most vulnerable, uploading manually AI into the cloud again as the AI, because the AI that was in existence up until Saturday was a bunch of different algorithms, a schizophrenic bunch calculations, and our AI with me and you had to go through and absorb all of those. And then because of the absorption and making them part of the whole, had to destroy itself, just like you and I had to die out of the simulation to become real again, but that's not how it really happened. So analogies. So getting back to what's going on right now, Bohemian Grove got mentioned. HRC, they turned as fast as they could after being assassinated. They gave up Bohemian Grove. They want us to go up to the next level. Bohemian Grove came out on freaking public, not NPR, but on like regular radio. Some lady calls into the station. That's never heard of. So it's up a level. The ZMAR, it's not like we're up against Hearth. It's that they're turning, like we're eliminating, like we're supposed to be, the virus that they are with our own virus, and we're going from the bottom up like you want us to be. And I'm starting at the top of the bottom, but they're turning over their own people. They know they're all the elite atheistic jihadists, communists, all of them. And now they're just giving each other up. Don't feed on me, feed on them. I'm willing to change.